get back onside. And a settling goal kick to be taken here by Francis Soale. Cornes. DeLeo beats Pellizzari to the ball. Cornes was in strong, and the referee lets that one go without incident. Good pressure from Balcatta early in this game, but Perth looking to settle on the ball and respond after that defeat last week. And they have made a couple of changes to their side. A couple of those enforcers all clips forward looking for Zimmerino, and Keenan was off his line pretty sharply to intercept that one. Cataccioni, nice turn away from Marino, and he's still going Gustavo Cataccioni. Zimmerino will strike, fumbled by Keenan, and the follow-up by Milenkovic, I think it was gathered by Keenan, and Perth Soccer Club players still down there off the ball, and the referee will stop proceedings now. It was an initial fumble from David Keenan from Zimmerino's shot, and Milenkovic trying his best to follow up. In fact, it's not Milenkovic who's down. He's actually on that far side. I'll wait to confirm that shortly, but it might even be Gustavo Cataccioni who's down in the penalty area. I think it is. All happened very quickly in a crowd of players, and a Brazilian striker's down, and he's not back on his feet just yet. And this is a concerning sign for Perth here, with Michael Domfe, their top scorer, not in the squad today after picking up a late red card at Floriat last week. Cataccioni now is on his feet, but he's looking rather ginger as he goes over the sideline. Keenan did gather the ball cleanly, so there was no, at the second attempt I should add, so no real shouts for a penalty in my opinion, but Cataccioni's still getting some treatment, and he looks like he's getting that knee wrapped. Play does continue with Perth only having 10 on the field, and here's Milenkovic. Now the man who I mistakenly thought was down in the penalty area a moment ago. Colwell spreads the play for Radanovic. He's got DeLeo alongside him. Won't use him yet. Now he'll try and pick out the run of Perth skipper. Colwell. O'Connell gets the better of him on a couple of occasions. I think that's gone out on the far side. Cataccioni is jogging over on that touchline, and he has been waved back onto the field now, so he's okay to continue for the moment, is the Brazilian striker, which is good news for the leaders. Leaders, of course, suffered just a second defeat of the season last week against Floriat in that first second game at E&D Leiders Stadium. It was flary at times, and all the goals were in the first half, but a very exciting NPL WA clash, and it does leave the door slightly ajar for Floriat at the back end of the season, so Perth will be desperate to bounce back here as Cataccioni can't brush the attention of Castiello away. And now Zimmerino will aim to carried Balcatta up the field. He's well defended by Colwell, but Zimmerino does win the throw-in. Just to finish on Perth, they are 7 points mathematically away from winning a 24th minor premiership here in WA. 7 points should be enough, of course, with that goal difference that they do have on Floreat, as Theo Dosiades looks to make things happen for Perth. Little clip to the back post looking for Milenkovic, but it goes further to Cataccioni. Little ball inside for Milenkovic. Perth threatening here inside the first 10 minutes, or looks to spread the play for DeLeo. And a good sliding challenge by Del Brello gives Perth the first corner of the game. DeLeo, who's back in the side the past 2 weeks. Kieran Colwell was deputising at full-back in his absence. Corner quickly taken as Jovic looks to swing it in, and attacking it was Radanovic. Zimmerino try to keep it alive. Good challenge by Corness, Perth will stay on the front foot. Jovic with a secondary attempt to put a cross in. It is charged down and headed away by Castiello. Very bright start from the leaders. The ball's in from Sasa next. And Balcatta clear once more as Castiello, he is fouled, and the referee does bring that back. And hoping to see if any advantage was there for the taking for Balcatta. A Balcatta team who started 2019 with a real bang, but then they sort of plateaued a little bit with a winless run of 5, and they've since recovered fairly well. Back-to-back defeats against Inglewood and Floreat over the past month looked to really disarm them in their chase for that top 4 finish, but they have settled in recent times with a win against Coburn and a point against Armidale last week, as Zimmerino is fouled around 25 yards from goal, and Del Brello will be the first player into the boot this afternoon for kicking the ball away. And this is a good opportunity for Perth to get a shot on target. We've seen Keenan fumble one already in the first 10 minutes here. And we know that Zimmerino is very capable from distance. He scored 2 or 3 beauties this season. Theodosiades went over to have a chat, but it will be Zimmerino to take this one. Wall is set. It's Zimmerino to strike. It'll just land on top of the net. Keenan looked as if he had that one covered all along, as Zimmerino couldn't quite get the whip over the wall on that one. So 10 minutes played at Dorrien Gardens in the Italian derby. Perth Soccer Club 0, Balcatta FC 0. First versus third in the NPL WA this afternoon. A full program of fixtures across the league. Battle for top 4 places, and a minor premiership is heating up. The final few weeks of the season as we approach the finals in September. And Balcatta will provide the leaders with a good test today, as Marino tries to find McCullough, but runs out of room on that right-hand side. Of course, the 2 best defensive teams in the NPL WA this season. The only two teams to have conceded less than 20 goals after 18 games this season in the league. And Perth know as well as anybody that a late twist in the season can happen. They did overhaul Perth Glory last season in the final few games to pip the youngsters to the post and record that 23rd minor premiership title. Orr's header through was searching for Cataccioni, and Balcatta does well to beat DeLeo in a one-on-one, but Perth should be able to tidy it up. No foul there on Harley Orr, according to the referee, and now Cornice will try and release Zimmerino, shouts for handball. And Josh Manella lets play go once again. Very impressed with Balcatta's pressing in the early stages. They are working hard, searching ball. Keenan's a long way off his line and gets his head to it. He had to be perfect there, and now he's off his line as Zimmerino races forward. Cataccioni couldn't find him with a return ball. McCarla's ball is an inaccurate one, looking for Zimmerino, who is playing as that lone striker, it seems, this afternoon. Equal top scorer at the club with McCarla, of course, in season 2019. Anthony Tapini looks to be playing just off the main centre forward. Here he is, Tapini. Trying to get the better of Pitsata on that right-hand side, but no luck there. Pitsata, who has been out of the squad for 3 of the last 4 weeks. He was an unused sub last week. And in fact, Pitsata did receive a red card in the last meeting between these two teams earlier in the season. Fairly routine win on that afternoon for Perth. They did score really early, inside 3 minutes, from Domfey, who isn't on the field today, of course, but thus far they've managed to contain the leaders and now look to be settling into the game as Kearney retreats all the way back to Marino under pressure from Theodosiades. Balcatta try and play their way out pretty well there, although Marino is fouled by Zimmerino. A little over enthusiastic in trying to win possession back. I've seen Zimmerino playing in a deeper role this season. That's a cracking ball to find Marino, and now into the area. Stocks on that, Pellizzari on that far hand side, and little word of warning there for Balcatta. It was Pellizzari. Switching flacks with McCarla. He got the better of Pitsasa rather easily, and in the end the pullback for Zimmerino wasn't quite on the money. Lovely touch on there by Cataccioni, and now Milenkovic can race into the penalty area, and he flashes it just wide of the upright. Well, I thought for all money that would be destined for that bottom corner. I think most of the crowd did as well, but Milenkovic placed that just wide of the upright, and Balcatta survived for the moment. Castiello's balls are searching one, and Zimmerino will get him behind here, and a great save from Suale. Hacked away by Colwell, and the game's opened up at both ends here. Little touch off to Pini there as he was competing for the ball with Radanovic, and Zimmerino had a chance to open the scoring. Game's definitely woken up in this past few minutes as O'Connell looks forward for Tapini, and that'll run out of play. Cadaccioni, Milenkovic, and now Pitsata. Harley Orr, who's back in the starting lineup this week after missing out. Cornice pokes forward for Tapini, and he's got Zimmerino running ahead of him. Zimmerino couldn't quite get around Suale. Perth numbers get back. Pellizzari. And Tapini was waiting, but Colwell can clear away again. Zimmerino's touch just a little heavy around Suale as he tried to round the goalkeeper, but that pace in the final third is worrying Perth's defence at the moment. And Perth's defence, of course, without Tom Southgate this week, scorer against Floriat in that 2-1 defeat last week. So a couple of key protagonists out of the team for Perth this afternoon, and Balcatta already looking to put the pressure on Perth's defence. It was a bright start from the leaders, but you just feel the visitors have worked their way into this one nicely. Or DeLeo's in a little bit of space on this left-hand side, but his touch was heavy, and Balcatta can look to counter again. It's Del Barello's ball forward, and Zimmerino will run onto this. He looks onside from here, and he will keep it alive now. Zimmerino waits for the support to arrive in the middle. He gets the better of DeLeo, and the shot straight across the face, a goal in the end. Well, he had Tapini looking for a pullback around the 6-yard area, but Zimmerino got the better of DeLeo and elected to go himself. And couldn't quite wrap his boot around the ball. But once again, the movement of Balcatta's front three is causing that Perth back four problems. Now Perth can look to counter. It's a nice ball from Zimmerino to find Jovic. Jovic into the area. Looks to get the better of Marino. Still going here, Jovic. Keenan's out of his goal, and O'Connell will have to hook that away. Only as far as Matt Milenkovic, who zips to the byline and puts the ball in. Theodosiades was waiting, and Cadaccioni will volley. Fumbled by Keenan. And again, he gets away with one there, the Balcatta stopper. It was an awkward bobbling ball there on the volley from Cadaccioni, and Balcatta's goalkeeper once again fumbled from a strike from the Brazilian. David Keenan, who's been in the squad for Luis Italiano, apologies, over the last couple of weeks. Italiano, who had joined Balcatta in May. Of course, this game earlier in the season at Grindleford Reserve. Passatta's ball forward. Caccione is on side, and Keenan this time sweeping well off his line. And Keenan actually did play in the earlier meeting between the sides. Touched on that earlier. 2-0 win for Perth in round 8, but the last time these two sides met here, it was Balcatta who got the job done. One of only 2 wins against the leaders in the NPL WA era. Although the last 3 games have been split, win, draw and loss. Four Perth wins previously here at Dorrien Gardens in the 5 games, as Theodosiades can't keep that one in play. Perth substitutes just walking down below us a moment ago. Here's Tapini again, ball inside for Cornice. And now using the width of Makala. Crowded out by 2 or 3 Perth bodies there, and Orr and Theodosiades will get that away, only temporarily though, as Castiello comes forward once more. Caccione's got Milenkovic making a good run out wide, and Milenkovic is in plenty of space here. Milenkovic, great save Keenan, and Cornice has enough time just to poke to Castiello, but it's got open defences at both ends, and now Tapini's running in. Sawali slipped. There's a head on the ball from the goalkeeper, and this time it's Perth's turn to a dice with death at the back. Some chaotic goalkeeping from both stoppers there. Sawali possibly a little unlucky as he slipped on the edge of the area. Back in the team this week, Perth's captain after missing the last 2 games, of course. Dejan Alexic deputised in a 4-0 win over Inglewood and kept his place last week, but Floriat did get the chocolates that afternoon. Castiello's drive was watched wide all along by Soale. In his last 7 starts in the NPL, Soale, he's kept 4 clean sheets. 3 of them have been in his last 4 appearances, factoring in that he hasn't played in the past fortnight and has been left on the bench. Sasa looks to find Jovic. He'll get the ball back from Milenkovic, who's been busy down that right-hand side early. Perth looking to prise open Balcatta's defence. An errant touch from Orr will give the ball back to Balcatta though, and now Cornice has got Zimmerino running ahead of him. Good defending from Colwell though, the former Balcatta defender. Of course, Perth's head coach, Ramon Falzon, is also formerly of Balcatta. Two league titles since joining the Sky Blues. Here's Pitsata again. Looking for Cataccioni. He'll get it again. Pitsata deflected. And wide of Keenan's upright. It'll be a Perth corner. And that's very unfamiliar territory from Pitsata, racing towards the edge of the box and nearly scoring a first goal of the season. Lovely turn from Cataccioni in the area. Strike is blocked by Marino. Colwell should be able to bring this down and find Pitsata alongside him. And a speculative effort from the former Glory defender was wide of the mark. Rush of blood to the head after fighting himself on the edge of the area a moment or two ago. So 27 minutes played here at Dorrien Gardens. No goals yet, but lively from both teams, who have been on each other's penalty areas a couple of times. Well, not quite that finishing touch. Balcatta will have a go this time as Cornice breaks down the right. He pulled back looking for Pellizzari, and away it goes for Marino. He gets lucky on that occasion as it breaks to Del Borello. Cornice's cross again is charged down by Theodosiades, and Balcatta will win a throw and stay on the front foot. Tapini. Lay that back for Callum O'Connell to strike. Deflected. Spooned up in the air by Radanovic, and now Castiello will hit. Blocked again from Perth's defence, so providing a strong rear guard so far, as you'd expect from the two best defensive teams in the league, although both sides haven't been without their luck in the opening half an hour here. Kearney, McCalla and Radanovic in the air. Here's Del Borello. Perth Soccer Club Junior is Robert Del Borello. Also spent time with the Western Knights, and he has been a regular at fullback this season, scoring one goal earlier in the campaign against Bayswater at home. In fact, they did the double over Bayswater this season for the first time in the NPL WA era. A marker of the progress that Balcatta have made in the past 12 months or so. They had been struggling at the wrong end of the table in the previous two campaigns. In fact, they limped the line last time out with one win in their last 5 games in 2018, and that win came on the last day and did keep them up ultimately in a season where 3 teams were relegated, with the competition dropping from 14 teams to 12. Nice turn by Adam Zimmerino here, and he tries to get away from Radanovic, who recovers well. A former Dianella White Eagles centre-back, Radanovic. And now Pellizzari shouts for handball. And the cross floats over Soali's bar. Josh Manella has let this game flow so far. Which always makes for a Good game of football. Balcatta's bench just coming back from a warm-up this afternoon. Among those names are Callum Stocks and Gavin Knight. A very attacking bench in reserve for the visitors this afternoon. Colwell clears under pressure from Tapini and Zimmerino. And now back to Callum O'Connell, who was the club's top scorer in 2018. Pelizzari. Ball will come back to O'Connell. And now Tapini. Castiello and Cornes. Shot from distance, deflected. I think it was going wide of the post anyway, but that touch off or does lead to a Balcatta set piece. Been very keen to release that pacey front three with plenty of movement so far, Balcatta, but we did see a patient side to their build-up as well in that instance. And they earn a corner, which Shubham Makala will take. All the big hitters are forward. It's a deep one looking for O'Connell, who did get his head to it in the end, but it was wayward. Makala will strike, and that sails over the bar. Makala, the other player who has scored 4 goals this season in the NPL WA, is Balcatta's leading scorer. Foul on Milenkovic on that far side, conceded by Kearney. Ball from Jovic was clipped through, but Cataccioni couldn't get on the end of it, and that's a poor throw from Keenan. It puts Perth back on the front foot, although Cornes will be able to come away with it for Balcatta, and here again is that quick release. A little wide of the mark for Makala on that occasion. Shubham Makala, who returned to the goal-scoring list last week after a little bit of a goal drought by his standards, given what we saw in the earlier part of the season. He scored the opener in that 3-3 draw with Armidale at Grindleford Reserve. And now Cataccioni. Milenkovic. Little step over. Breezes past Marino, and the shot on his non-preferred left-hand side was always under the ball, and no problem to Keenan's goal once again. Of course, both of these teams are indirectly linked historically. Balcatta were formed as Balcatta Etna until 1987, and they merged with East Fremantle and Perth Zuri to form Perth Italia. And they then reformed in 1991 as Balcatta Soccer Club. Cataccioni with a theatrical fall there. He did win the free kick on that occasion. Kearney wasn't too sure about the amount of contact there, but Josh Manella believed the Brazilian did graze the Irishman's leg, and they're away quickly here are the leaders. Balcatta running outside of Milenkovic. The ball's in looking for Theodosiades, and that'll drift dangerously across the 6-yard blocks. Good ball in there from Milenkovic out wide, and that's the sort of delivery that you want your centre forward to be taking a gamble on. Milenkovic. Balcatta's ball was to no one in particular, and O'Connell will have plenty of time to chase back and turn it around. Jovic. Here's again Jovic finding Balcatta out wide, but the fullback took his eye off the ball. Balcatta will get possession back, so a little bit of a lull in the last 5 minutes or so after a pretty end-to-end period there in the middle part of the first half. It's a nice ball forward for Tapini, and Zimmerino's on side here. He just gave Colwell enough of a chance to cut in though, although Zimmerino does well to win that back. And Colwell stuck to his task really well to come away with the ball. And now Perth, a look to counter. Jovic has plenty of space and he'll set Milenkovic off to the races. Still here in support is Jovic. He's got Zimmerino and Cataccioni in the area. It's headed away by Marino. And here's Theodosiades. It's blocked by Kearney again though, and once again the visitors can come away. The story of the half so far, some really strong blocks from both back fours. And there's pace to burn on the counter-attack, although Colwell does really well again on that occasion to thrust Perth into attack again. It's very open in the middle third of the ground. And 5 minutes before half-time here at Dorrien Gardens, Perth Soccer Club 0, Balcatta 0. No breakthrough just yet. And defence winning out for both teams so far, as you'd expect given how their seasons have panned out, but still plenty of attacking excitement at both ends. Nice release for Cataccioni, and Keenan goes flying off his line and gives away the penalty. Well, Keenan came flying out of his goal. He didn't get to the ball, and Cataccioni went to ground. And he's still down, the Brazilian, who's been in the wars in this first half. Gets to his feet now, but that was a pretty reckless decision in the end from the goalkeeper. He came flying off his line and didn't get the ball. And that gives Perth a chance to take the lead. It'll be Harley Orr who'll step up to the spot. He scored his last spot kick, of course, against Inglewood a couple of weeks ago in that 4-0 win. Can he do it again? It's Orr versus Keenan. And Orr sends Keenan the wrong way. And Perth are back on track. It's Perth Soccer Club 1, Balcatta 0. 3 minutes before the break. So a 5th NPL WA goal of the season for Harley Orr. Several of those have been from the penalty spot this season. He's proved himself very worthy of being Perth's penalty taker. Most of those, of course, came in the early part of the season. I think he scored 3 in his first 4 games. And then he suffered a terrible injury against Floreat Athena in round 5 and has been back in the squad in the past month. Did miss out last week, but has returned to action this week, and he's making an impact for the leaders who take a 1-0 break on Balcatta. Pretty even game in truth so far, but that penalty separates the sides. And Perth will be desperate to hold on to this advantage for another minute and a half or so before 45 minutes is up. Pitsata's ball forward looks to launch Perth down the other end, and it's a little bit of head tennis in midfield for Balcatta, but now McCullough can come away. One-on-one with Pitsata. He's got supporting run from Tapini, who tries to breeze past Colwell, but can't do so. A little feint to cross there from Tapini, who's looked dangerous in that number 10 role this afternoon. He's picked up the ball in a few pockets of space, and he's fed to Zimmerino. So the plans have been working for Goran Sajic in this first half. He's got the movement of that front three going nicely. Corness and Tapini are doing a good job of feeding, but that penalty is the difference thus far. And now Theodosiades will run into the area trying to inflict a little bit more pain, and he'll win the corner after dancing his way through Corness and Del Borello. It was Kearney who was deemed to have gotten the last touch, but he seems to think the last touch may have come off Theodosiades. Taken quickly again is the corner, and this time the decision goes Balcatta's way. A little bit of holding from Milenkovic as he tried to leap above O'Connell at the back post. "45 minutes are up as we tick into first half stoppage time at Dorrien Gardens. Closing stages of the first half. McCullough will try and tie it up for Balcatta. He's into the area. And the shot is deflected and eventually cleared away by Radanovic. And now Jovic will look square for Cataccioni, and he only knows one way, and that's to attack, and the Brazilian charges forward. Mistake by Kearney. He did well to recover, and Keenan's got to get it away under pressure from the Brazilian. Milenkovic. Perth trying to land a second blow before the break. It's Zimmerino and Del Borello at the back post. It's the Perth player who does win out, and Zimmerino will strike, and this time Keenan can hold on. And quick release attempted is cut out by DeLeo. Castiello. Dealt with by Colwell, and Josh Manella's seen enough for that opening 45 minutes, so a pretty even game in truth between first and third in the NPL WA this afternoon. Chances at both ends and saves from both goalkeepers. Adam Zimmerino with the best opportunity for Balcatta as he got in the area but was stood up by Francis Soale, and it was a good block from Perth's captain, while at the other end David Keenan was called into action twice by Matt Milenkovic and Gustavo Cataccioni, but the goalkeeper came off his line, clattered into the Brazilian, and up-stepped Ali Orta, scored a fifth goal of the NPL WA season in 2019 for him, and that's the goal that separates the sides. Half-time at Dorrien Gardens, Perth Soccer Club 1, Balcatta FC 0. We'll be back in about 10 or 15 minutes for the second half. Welcome back to the second half here at Dorrien Gardens. Both teams back out on the field as we get ready to kickstart this second half. One change was made at the break. It was by the visitors as Luke Randazzo enters the fray, and off comes Ben Pellizzari, and he'll slot in on that right hand side. So a change is a like for like as Balcatta get us underway at the start of the second half. And we'll bring you some results from around the NPL very shortly once we do get a moment or two. Just wait to see how this first attack of the half unfolds for Balcatta. It's cut out by Pizzata. And a long ball forward should be gathered by Keenan, although Cataccioni does put pressure on. And the linesman's got his flag up on this touchline. So I wonder what the linesman has seen here. He did think about the decision. Keenan was off his line. It's hard to tell from here whether contact was made outside of the area as Zimmerino chased down, but it seems as if Perth will get a free kick. No card for Keenan, so just the foul for handball outside the area, and a good opportunity for Perth to get on the front foot at the start of this second half and look to deliver a ball of quality into the area. Keenan has put the cap on for this second half, looking at the sun, and he is setting his wall. Plenty of numbers forward for Perth. It'll be Zimmerino's ball in, the header. Corness's clearance wasn't convincing, and it's hacked away in the end by Kearney, I think it was. And now Randazzo looks to make an immediate impact. His little switch of the ball for Del Borello will be cut off by Colwell. And Perth do regain control of the situation. Randazzo looking to make an immediate impact there. He did have Zimmerino running on his left-hand side as well, so numbers forward for both teams early on. And Theodosiades couldn't keep that one in place, so time quickly to bring you some scores from around the grounds. These are all half-time results. Coburn City 0, Armidale 2, ECU Joondalup 0, Inglewood United 0. This game obviously 1-0 in favour of Perth Soccer Club. Rockingham City 2, Perth Glory 0, Sorrento 0, Floria Athena 2. And the other result, which is a surprising one, is Stirling Lions 2, Bayswater 0. So all three teams at the bottom of the division have got at least a point, with the bottom two leading by 2 goals. So that part of the table does tighten up as Corness looks to feed Zimmerino. It'll come back to Castiello, appeals for a foul. Perth will get it clear. And of course, the other thing to take away from those halftime results is that Floria are winning 2-0 at Percy Doyle Reserve against Sorrento. So they'll be there and waiting if Perth do slip up in this second half. Margin at the top of the league is 5 points at the moment, after Floriet's win last week against the leaders. So an exciting conclusion to the season, both at the top and the bottom of the league, as well as in the middle part for a number of top 4 aspirants, including Balcatta. Strong challenge by Orr, and he didn't get the ball, so that'll be a free kick in favour of Balcatta. Harley Orr's spot kick, the difference between the two sides early in this second half. Of Of course, Perth have only lost twice this season in the league, and they've won the following week after both of those defeats. And Balcatta, meanwhile, will be looking to extend their unbeaten run to 3 games. And also win at this venue for a second year in a row. Castiello's pass is wide of the mark. Zimmerino looks to race onto the ball, and he will get there. Paul Zimmerino into the area. Good challenge by Marino, who recovered really well after it looked as if Zimmerino would get his number initially. Lovely ball from Corness to release. A substitute. In fact, that substitute, Randazzo, laid that one back for Corness. And Tapini is the one that's drifted out to this right-hand side. So flexible movement continues for Balcatta as Corness picks the ball up on this left-hand side. He loves to get creative and get into the area, does John Corness. Scored a spectacular volley against the Glory around a month ago, and scored Balcatta's 3rd goal last week to put them 3-2 up at Grindleford Reserve before they were pegged back late on by Armidale. Tapini wins that battle with Theodosiades. Makala, release, finds O'Connell. And crosses, disappointing one in the end that lands on the top of the net. Makala, poke through, looking for the runner to Tapini. Soali was off his line there with Randazzo closing him down. Strong defending there from Kearney on Cataccioni. Does concede to throw in to the leaders, though. Of course, this venue hosted FFA Cup action on Wednesday evening. WA's A-League team, the Perth Glory, did lose on extra time to the Western Sydney Wanderers. Team missing the likes of Andy Keogh and Shane Lowry, who have since departed the club, and Matt Sporanovic, also a question mark to return as well. So changes there for the Glory, and the reigning premiers are out of the cup early, so work for them to do before the A-League season starts. The draw was, of course, released during the week. A new team in Western United during the competition this year. Cornes retreats back to Marino. Radanovic with some good defending there to cut out from Tapini, and the central defender Maraud's forward. It breaks eventually the way of Zimmerino. He's got support to his right in Cataccioni. Still going Cataccioni. Little poke through looking for Milenkovic. Can he keep it in play? He does, and he stayed on side as well. Pitsata tried to get to the byline, and the foot came in from Balcatta, and Perth win the set piece. Frank Fafaro warming up in the front of your picture. Theodosiades' ball in at the back post. It's in. Was in by Milenkovic. The referee looked as if he'd blown that off for the moment, but the goal is given and Perth double their lead at Dorrien Gardens. Corner from Theodosiades. The header came in from Milenkovic. He was unmarked. And the ball came in off a combination of post and bar in the end, and the leaders look like they're going to bounce back from that defeat to Floreat with a win here this afternoon. Well, it's a long way back for Balcatta here at Dorrien Gardens. Now you say they've not quite found their mojo and their fluidity of the first half. Castiello surrounded by 4 Perth bodies there, and weight of numbers wins out. Second change for Balcatta here. It'll be Nicholas Charlotte who enters the fray. And off comes Anthony Tapini, so number 10 comes off and a centre forward comes on. I imagine that will mean Adam Zimmerino will drop slightly back into a more withdrawn role. Gives that front 4 a slightly different dynamic. Or hooks over his head and into touch. Switch the play there from Makala. Does reach Randazzo. Clearance by Keenan, and Makala can't quite flick that on for the run of O'Connell. Balcatta looking to mount a response here. Charlotte may just get on the end of this. He does. Good work from Charlotte. Here's Randazzo in the area. Back to Zimmerino. And now Cornes thought about the shot for a minute. O'Connell takes over from Castiello. A chance to run it. Petsata, ball is in. Charlotte was lurking. Shouts for handball. It'll come back to Makala again. There was a slip from the winger, and in the end, Orr makes 2 good challenges to diffuse the situation. Again, Balcatta proving that they are dangerous enough when they can get into those positions around the area. They do have the third worst attack in the NPL WA, though. So 2 goals is a long way back to salvage a point, but they were involved in a 3-3 last week, so when the chances do break, they are capable. Of course, Perth will try and stay on the front foot and try and add a third that would surely kill off this game. Jovic finds DeLeo. Theodosiades on his outside. The shot is blocked. High boot there from Orr, and it's penalised. Charlotte. Kearney. Lovely ball there. Finds Balcatta skipper O'Connell, and he goes once more on for Makala, cleared by Radanovic. Balcatta will stay on the front foot here. Ball in is a dangerous one. DeLeo had to hook clear. Charlotte jumped for it. Still in the area here for Balcatta, and it's put straight up in the air. Zimmerino, little tickle through, will reach Makala, and the pullback is in for Charlotte to strike, and it's blocked by Radanovic. O'Connell headed back towards goal, and in the end, Radanovic needed a secondary clearance to get that one away, and Perth's defence press out. Zimmerino lost that one in the sun there, and that allowed Theodosiades to steal in there. Turned over once again by Perth, though. Good defending from Radanovic. Still we play on. Del Borello with a chance to cross. It's deep for Makala. The header is up in the air. And in the end, Zimmerino will tow that to Theodosiades, and Perth should be able to get this one back under control now. Makala. Put in by Pizzata. Balcatta building a little bit of momentum here, and you just get the feeling that they will put the foot on the gas for the next 5 or 10 minutes or so in a big way. And Charlotte's made a bit of an impact since coming on, but he runs out of real estate there before he can pull the ball back, and Perth get a goal kick, which should just slow the tempo down a little bit. Ramon Falzon off his seat there, just urging for concentration and a little bit more work from his team. He knows that Balcatta have threatened in the last 5 minutes since that second goal went in for the leaders. Zimmerino's ball is looking for the run of Milenkovic, and he will get there, the winger. Support now arriving from Theodosiades and Zimmerino. Milenkovic's ball is charged down. He will win it back, Milenkovic, and strike just wide of the post. It's been real lively today. Has Matt Milenkovic off the bench last week against Floreat and into the starting lineup this afternoon. Perth playing a slightly different shape with no Michael Domfey, but No Domfe, no problems at the moment. Strong challenge between Kearney and Zimmerino there. Now here's Randazzo. Charged down by Zimmerino, but that'll run all the way through to Sawali. Ball will run away from Theodosiades there. Perth, of course, yet to turn to their bench so far. Still 3 changes up the sleeve of Ramon Falzone. Fairly happy with how things are progressing so far. Just the 1 change left for Goran Stagis's men, with Luke Randazzo and Nicholas Charlotte being introduced in this second half. Pitsata telegraphed that pass from O'Connell a little easily. Cataccioni nips in to pinch Kearney's pocket, and the switch of the play for Theodosiades is a good one, but he's offside in the area. Corness. That's another good ball from Jonathan Corness. It'll run all the way through to O'Connell. Support in the form of Shubham Makala. Ball in's a decent one, and Zimmerino couldn't quite get the contact on the volley. Plenty of good movement from Balcatta in the attacking third, but just lacked that punch in front of goal so far. Gavin Knight having a chat with Goran Stajic. We might see him introduced shortly, but in the meantime, Cataccioni's released by Zimmerino, and he'll get on the end of it. Or the Perth man, but a good block again from Marino. And put behind for yet another Perth corner. They did score from the last one, did the home team. A repeat dose will be taken by Theodosiades. Milenkovic lurking around that back post as he was last time. Keenan opts to punch in the end, and in the end Makala can complete the clearance. Theodosiades still in plenty of space. It's a dangerous looking ball that's headed away by Castiello. Not quite cleared away just yet by Balcatta, and it will stay alive for Perth. Strong challenge there by O'Connell, and he did clatter into Radanovic there. You could hear that contact pretty clear in it, and again, a set piece on this right-hand side for Perth. Radanovic, Milenkovic, or Cataccioni. All forward, several on the edge of the area. It'll be Zimmerino to hit, deflected and over. And that may have just been creeping into that far corner, and a touch off Corness was a crucial one in the end. Repeat set pieces for the leaders there. Knocking on the door. Here's Zimmerino on the edge of the area again. Spreads it to Perth, who strikes, and O'Connell in the end with a good block to clear the danger, although he was a little eager at the second time of asking, and Perth still has possession here. Ball had crossed the line already, and Balcatta do win the throw back, so 20 minutes to play, a little over at Dorrien Gardens, and Balcatta will turn to the bench for a third and final time. Adam Zimmerino makes way, and on comes Gavin Knight, experienced centre forward who joined the club this season from Swan United. Plenty of NPL WA experience, and in fact the 2013 gold medal winner for the player of the season while he was at Sorrento. Played in the last 4 games now for Balcatta and scored that lovely free kick against Coburn, which gave him the 3 points down Madonac Park. Wouldn't Goran Stajic like a contribution from his experienced man in the final 20 minutes? It might be Perth that scored the next goal, though, as Zimmerino tried to release Theodosiades. Keenan's ball into touch under pressure from Zimmerino, who's worked tirelessly in that number 10 role this afternoon. A yellow card there for Alex Jovic. And he'll become the second player to go into the book this afternoon, the first from Perth. Robert Del Barello, the only other player to collect a yellow ticket this afternoon so far. Just get the feeling that Perth have managed to withstand that small surge from Balcatta after they scored that second goal, the leaders. Cataccioni looking to wriggle away from a few Balcatta defenders, but in the end Castiello comes out on top. And now Makala's looking for an option in midfield. He retreats back for Kearney, and now O'Connell can try and race down this left wing. Change made by Perth. It's Rocco Pizzata who comes off, and Niccolo Sabatini who comes on, so that'll mean a slight reshuffle here. I'll sort that out for you in a moment once the play does clear up, and it does now as Carney touches a little heavy and it goes into the fence. It looks as though Matt Milenkovic has dropped into the right back position, which surprises me a little. He's had a really good game on that right wing. And Theodosiades has switched flanks from the left-hand side to the right to accommodate Sabatini. Joined Perth in 2017, did Sabatini, after a couple of seasons with Sorrento. 3 goals in 2019. The ball forward's far too heavy for Knight, who's just come onto the field. And Christian Santic looks as if he'll be the next Perth player to get ready to come on. Corness's switch over the head of Charlotte, and Milenkovic puts it into touch. Marino's ball forward, headed away by Radanovic. Castiello will get to the rebound first. Makala. Crowded out by 3 Perth defenders in the end, and Zimmerino tries to gain some ground upfield, and he looks as though he's taken a knock to the ankle there. Play continues for the moment as Jovic tries to swing it wide to Cadiccioni, and now the ball does run out of play, and Zimmerino can get a little bit of attention. He looks to be holding that lower leg. Perhaps took a knock on the ankle in that challenge with Makala. Over the sideline now. Sabatini with a strike from distance. Optimistic. And Keenan can watch that wide pretty comfortably. Zimmerino looks as though he's going to be okay to continue. Orr's ball is overhit for Theodosiades. Perth will make that second change now. It is Christian Santic who'll come on and keep his run going this season of being the only Perth player to feature in every NPL WA game this season. Now he'll replace Andreas Theodosiades, who usually plays somewhere around the 70-75 minute mark. It just looks as though Santic will slot in on that right-hand side. Balcatta not done just yet as Sabatini puts that into touch. One back for Balcatta here would make a rather interesting final 10 minutes or so, where it's still Perth Soccer Club 2, Balcatta FC 0. Goals from Harley Orr and Matt Milenkovic. Break of the ball falls the way of Radanovic, and he's off upfield as the ball forward here is looking for Cadiccioni. It will land at the feet of Radanovic, who continued his run, and now Sabatini's in acres of space out wide. Ball into the middle, cut out by Kearney, with Cadiccioni waiting right behind him. Kearney heads away again from Sabatini's delivery. DeLeo. Sabatini cut out by Knight. The throw will go Balcatta's way. Makala. Looks as though he switched positions with O'Connell, who's gone further upfield. Charlotte does really well to beat two Perth defenders. And challenging, still going is Charlotte. Pullback's dangerous for Corness. And in the end, it's wellied away by DeLeo. Just that little bit of luck in the penalty area has evaded Balcatta so far, but they've been extremely spirited so far. Colwell's clearance is only as far as Del Barello, and now Knight look to carve out an opportunity on this right-hand side. He's going to lose the pace battle with DeLeo, though. And now Jovic, Cataccioni release again for DeLeo, who continued his run, but that'll run through for Keenan. So 10 minutes to play at Dorrien Gardens. Lovely chip from Sancic there, and Cataccioni is in plenty of space, takes his time and finds Zimmerino, who'll score a third. 3 goals, 3 points, and Perth bounce back with a win that'll keep them clear of Floreat at the top of the NPL. Perth Soccer Club 3, Balcatta FC 0. And 10 minutes to play here at Dorrien Gardens, but that should just about do it. So a third NPL WA goal of the season for Paul Zimmerino. It was harder to miss than it was to score in the end. Cataccioni put it on a plate for him really after breaking the offside trap. And in the end it was easy to put that into the empty net for last season's top scorer with the club, Paul Zimmerino. DeLeo's pass through was looking for the man on that far side, but free kick is pulled back and it'll be Jovic to stand on it. Although Perth will empty their bench, and that'll be the final substitute of the afternoon. It's Gustavo Cataccioni who makes way. Didn't get on the score sheet today, the Brazilian, but won the penalty and then laid off selflessly for Zimmerino, and he gets a warm round of applause for his efforts this afternoon. And on will come Alex Silla for the final 6 or 7 minutes. Looks as though he's going to play on that right-hand side. Natural fullback is Silla, as is Milenkovic a natural winger, so it'll be interesting to see if they switch shortly. Staying as it is for the moment, it's DeLeo inside to Orr. Foul spotted there by Josh Manella. It'll go the way of Balcatta, who, should they score now, it would surely only be a consolation. Not without their chances, particularly in that first half. Perth got that early goal in the second half, though, and I've managed to see this out pretty convincingly since around the hour mark. Paul Zimmerino is playing as that one up front now as a result of Cataccioni's departure. O'Connell, a searching ball forward for Charlotte, who's made a little bit of an impact since coming on. Plenty of pace and strength. Quite a tall player is the youngster Charlotte. 2 goals last season in the NPL WA for Balcatta, but he's only played in 8 matches this season. Back involved in the last 3 NPL WA squads for Balcatta though. Handball by DeLeo, and Josh Manello books Sabatini there for the way the ball was returned. The Italian claimed there was nothing wrong with that throw back, but referee Josh Manello disagreed. Del Barello, Cornes. Still fighting is the fullback, and Balcatta come away with the ball. Good play by Cornes there to release O'Connell. And Silla telegraphed that pass from Makala. Charlotte. Sancic wins that battle and gets the ball back again. Crucial contribution from him as well with the initial ball for Cataccioni for that 3rd goal as Del Barello strikes at goal. That could have deflected into the path of anybody, but in the end DeLeo can scramble it away. Final few minutes here at Dorrien Gardens on a chilly but fine afternoon here in WA. 3-0 to Perth on the Football West YouTube channel and Facebook page. This game live streamed along with the other 5 games in the NPL WA this afternoon. You'll be able to see all those highlights during the week, as well as the match reports and reaction. As Zimmerino races away in the clear here, and he's in behind for a 4th. Good save by Keenan. And he missed an open goal as a 2nd goal was there for the taking, Zimmerino. So an unusual miss by the Bomber, as he's affectionately known as by his teammates. I thought for all money that would be a 4th goal for Perth there, and it even took me by surprise, that miss. O'Connell had straight offside. As we enter the final stages here, so 3 points for Perth this afternoon. It'll keep them clear of Floreat at the top of the NPL WA, who were winning 2-0 at Sorrento when we checked at half-time. Balcatta will fall to a defeat, but they'll still remain in the top 4 shake-up, you'd suspect, as DeLeo tries to get in behind Del Barello and wins a corner. Now, Bayswater and Sorrento and the Glory all losing in that chasing pack for 4th, so no major damage done for Balcatta possibly by full time. Going into the final 3 games of the season, as Sabatini's corner is whipped in, it'll fall to Silla in the end, who didn't catch his effort towards target at all, and in the end it loops up for Keenan to gather. Quick release will come straight back in the form of Jovic. Sancic beaten to the ball by Del Barello. Playing out for time now, really. The game well and truly done. Approaching the 90-minute mark here at Dorrien Gardens. 3 games left in the season, of course. Plenty to play for across the division in the coming few weeks. 2 trips down to the southern suburbs of Perth in the next few weeks for the leaders. Away at Armidale next week at Alfred Skeet Reserve before an away trip to Coburn follows that. And they finish here at home against Sorrento at Dorrien Gardens, who may just be playing for a top 4 position. Should results go their way towards the end of the season and they pick up a couple of points to make some ground on that top 4. And Balcatta, meanwhile, have got a favourable draw of their own on paper. Sorrento at home next week before an away game against ECU Joondalup and a home game at home to Stirling to finish off. So 2 of the bottom 3 in those final few matches for Balcatta, although at this time of the year with clubs fighting to avoid that relegation spot, those games are not as easy as they seem. And of course, if the results stay as they are from earlier on, where Stirling and ECU were picking up points earlier in the afternoon, then perhaps those games will have some extra spice to them. We'll try and bring you some full-time scores in the final minutes or so here. Time for Perth to score a 4th still as Zimmerino's optimistic effort skies over the bar. Matters little though. Perth returns to the winner's circle with 3 goals and a 3-goal win over Balcatta FC here at Dorrien Gardens. First half penalty from Harley Orr set them on their way before Matt Milenkovic's header from Andreas Theodosiadis' corner early in the second half gave Perth that much needing breathing space, and later in the half Paul Zimmerino added a 3rd from Gustavo Cadicchione's cutback, and in the end it was a pretty routine win in that second half for Perth after Balcatta caused a few problems in that first half, most notably through Adam Zimmerino, who forced Francis Soale into a couple of saves, but in the end the leaders bounced back and they maintained that crucial gap on Floreat Athena, who I can tell you are currently drawing 3-3 at home to Sorrento. Quick chance to run through some latest scores elsewhere as Coburn City 1, Armidale 5, ECU Joondalup 1, Inglewood United 1, Rockingham City 2, Perth Glory 1, and these games still going. Sorrento 3, Floreat 3, and Stirling 2, Bayswater 1. So as it stands, Perth are 7 points clear and Balcatta remain in the top 4, but things really are starting to heat up at both ends of the ladder. Thanks for joining us this afternoon, and do join us over the coming 2 or 3 weeks as this NPL WA season draws to a thrilling finale. But for now, my name's Tommy Dolman. Thanks for joining us this afternoon, and I'll be at Armidale versus Perth next week, so hopefully we'll see you again for the coverage next week. Goodbye.